Hey Gear Seekers, I'm Nick. We're out here at Computex Taipei 2025 checking out what Montech has to offer. Ladies and gents, they've got some spicy little things that you may find interesting and some new cases that I may have sprinkled some of our special sauce into. Let's go take a look.
Our Computex Taipei 2025 coverage is proudly brought to you by MSI and their Z890 and B860 series Intel motherboards. MSI's new Z890 and B860 motherboards for Intel Core Ultra Series 2 pack top-tier features, advanced connectivity and DIY-friendly design with no compromises. You're getting PCIe 5.0, DDR5 9200+, Wi-Fi 7 and Thunderbolt 4, plus up to 26 phase VRMs with 110 amp power stages for serious overclocking. Building is easy with toolless M.2 clips, quick release PCIe slots and magnetic M.2 shields. To find out more about MSI and their Z890 and B860 series Intel motherboards, check out the links in the video description.
First up, we have some new additions to the King series, both the King 45 and the King 15. Montech's had a lot of feedback, even we had a bit of this feedback with the King 95 Ultra, is that the case is a little bit too wide. So what they've done is decided to go, hey, let's squish it. We'll move the power supply to a similar layout to the HS01 and 02 being at the front of the case, and it actually makes the case a little bit skinnier, which I think is quite interesting. And to be honest, the HS01 is a very cool design, and for them to kind of bring it into the King cases is quite a nice touch. But what makes this different? Well, ladies and gents, there's two versions. There's a Pro version and a non-Pro version, and in classic Montech style, the non-Pro version has no included fans, and the Pro version here that you're seeing has 4 included fans. What they've also done is they've changed the angle of the bottom of the case to allow intake for better GPU thermals. They've angled it, we kind of saw this last year and the year before with Fantex doing it, and it proved to be a relatively good solution to help lower those CPU and GPU thermals by about 2 to 3 degrees. Following on from the King 95, the King 45 also has that curved TG front and side panel, but the curve here is quite a bit tighter. And to be honest, I think it looks sleek. It makes it look really nice. Think of this as a hybrid of the HS02 and of a King 95. One of the things they did to improve on the HS02 is change the top of the case to allow for better cable pass-throughs for EPS cables and passing your GPU power cable through the top of the case. So yeah, basically taken a lot of feedback and wanting to improve it. The thing is, this case is not due for a little while. They're looking at Q2 2026. As for pricing, the non-Pro version, they're aiming at around about 80 to 89 USD, or around about 119 USD for the Pro version with 4 included fans. Let us know what you think. I'm thinking that the 45 is looking quite sleek. You know me, not a massive fan of fish tank cases, but this looks fairly sleek. But this year already, we're seeing a lot of MATX cases, so this one might tickle your pickle.
Wow.
The baby King 45 is called the King 15. This is an MATX case following the same design principles. We've got sunken angled bottom fans for GPU intake, improving thermals. Now, one of the reasons why there's an MATX version is, I think off the record, Montech's like, did you have something to do with trying to make people buy MATX? Yes, I did, because it is a great form factor. It gives great expandability, but the King 15 will also allow you to have similar radiator support, which is interesting. And like the HS01 and 02, the power supply is moved to the front on this case too, meaning it is also narrow, but there's a few little differences with the design here. As opposed to the HS01 for both the King 45 and 15, they've made the PSU cover completely solid, so you don't see the stickers on your power supply anymore. If you're interested in pricing for the King 15, the non-Pro version is around about 90 US dollars, and the Pro version with the 4 included fans, they're looking at aiming at 110 US dollars. However, the launch time, I don't know if it says it here, Q1 2026, so we're a little while off, so still time for some feedback. There's a little notch on the back, you pop it, you tilt it, you lift it away from the case. That was live. While we're talking about MATX cases, they've got a new case called the X5M. It's an MATX case, like I mentioned. However, this one is really focused at the budget segment as well as system integrators. It's got all of the classic things we see with these budget focused cases. We've got these dust filters. We won't talk about those. But it also has 360mm liquid cooling support, full GPU support for up to 420mm, coming in at $59 US with included fans, which is, it's criminal. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know how. It's wizardry. $59 US for 4 included fans is crazy. But there is a bigger version for $75 US called the X5, which has basically everything that is exact. Look, they've just added some water, made it a little bit bigger, but the compatibility and everything is exactly the same. Not much more to say about this, except that all the fans are 140mm and it's $75, but it follows the same principles as the X5M. Ladies and gents, we're cooking. We're cooking. We've got some secret things going on here. It's not a thing yet. It's a concept. We're not saying anything right now. We'll talk more in 2026, but there is some little things to show, but not yet. Keep your eyes peeled, keep that subscribe button pressed, and keep that bell on. 2026 is going to be a big one. Or a little one. Come down to Computex and get yourself a case. Fast, fast, fast. Quick, quick, quick. Wow, you're gonna miss out. Montech has a new flagship in their Air series called the Air 2000. Essentially what they've done is they've gone back to the drawing board and really looked at airflow to make a super airflow focused case with support for big radiators, big coolers, and big components. You all know those 50 series GPUs are big, and you know 60 series is going to be much, much bigger. But what's interesting about this case is little bits of attention to detail. First thing is the air filter at the front is patented by Montech as a top loading design. The B-roll will probably do this a bit more justice. I have some suggestions for this, but we'll talk about this in another video at another time. But yeah, this is a very nice and easy solution for cleaning your filters. Look at that. Hey, I'm dirty, I don't clean my house, there's dust everywhere. Let's just pull it out the front of the case. But this version here has the glass front panel. There's also a mesh front panel version as well with lots of Montech triangles. But the secret that you're gonna see in the B-roll, because someone already broke the case because it happens at shows, there is a little digital display. Come here, Claire, come on, come around. Show the class what you got. There's a little digital display here which will allow you to adjust the fans in 10% increments, so 10% duty cycle increments, and also control the RGB. Think of this as an extension to the included RGB controller that comes in Montech cases with no software. This screen will also display RPM, CPU thermals, GPU thermals, and basically anything that you want to look at a glance. When we covered Fantex earlier in the week, one of the biggest comments I had with their new Matrix lighting setup was, when you're sitting at your desk and your computer's to the side, it's good to have it at a glance kind of in your eye line this way, not this way. To me, it makes more sense. Now, if you're interested in the Air 2000 series, they're going to be going for around about $110 US with this included and the fans included. But they're also looking at doing a let's call it the non-pro version. We're just making up words here for $95 US without that. But if you didn't get that, you'd be crazy.
And no software.
And no software. They listen to me. It's probably the only case vendor that actually listens to me. And all of the Air 2000's fans are 140mm. I have no idea why I'm in here.
Sound funny.
Does it sound good? Does it make you excited?
Yes.
Do I sound nice? Carrying on from the wildly popular Sky series from Montech is the new Sky 3 glass, also available in a mesh version. The difference with the new Sky 3 series is one little thing you may have missed. Look, it looks like a Sky case. It's a fish tank like a Sky case, but the keynote out there judging by you watching the B-roll, of course, is that the power supply can be moved. The power supply has been rotated 90 degrees, and you can move it from either the front of the case to the back of the case, and this will also allow those bottom angled fans for intake to be moved from the front to the back as well. This is a really good example of how this layout works with the little bit of a demonstration here. This reflection looks like it's got two power supplies in it from here, but yeah, essentially, again, angled fans with intake from the back side into your GPUs to increase, well, rather lower your GPU and CPU thermals by a couple degrees. I kind of like this. This will be available in Q1 2026. There's also a mesh version coming, so if you're not into the fish tank aesthetic, kind of like this guy here, like what we did at the King 95 Ultra. The version we're seeing on the show floor here has 120mm fans pre-installed, but the retail version will have 140mm fans installed, and they're looking at doing 3 fans, 2 on the side, 1 up the back. In terms of pricing for the Sky 3 glass, they're looking at about $100 US, including those 3 fans. Again, Montech coming in swinging with the aggressive pricing. This is my pick for the best case at Montech here at Computex Taipei 2025. And this is something that I was talking to Montech about last year in detail. For us wanting to do a small form factor case, may have teased something a little bit before, but this is what it looks like closer to a retail version. This is called the Montech 10, and it's not a 10-liter case. It follows some Japanese philosophy. This is actually a 17-liter case, but it's kind of like a, hey, Leon Lee, we can also do something like that, but a little bit more clever, because the Montech 10 has 3 layouts. First of all, you've got 2 MATX layouts. One is designed for using liquid coolers, the other is for air cooling, and the third layout is a mini ITX layout to make the Montech 10 a sandwich layout case. Very, very clever. In terms of power supply support, the power supply can also be moved from the side to the front in a bunch of different orientations. Radiator mounting can be at the top or the bottom, especially if you're custom liquid cooling. It's okay to have radiators at the bottom, guys. You can do up to 360 top, bottom, just depending on what layout. I think that the ITX layout may be the one you're looking at doing. 17 liters is large for those small form factor enthusiasts, but you're getting quite a lot of compatibility in terms of GPUs and radiator support. But if you really wanted to do something cool with air cooling, you have that option in one of the MATX layouts as well. But look at this, I got a little secret. I've got one of the 10s completely stripped down. Let's take a closer look. Even though it's a long way off, there are some very interesting things to note about the Montech 10. First of all, as mentioned, this is an ITX and MATX case. The spine for the case can be moved into a sandwich layout. I'm not quite sure if this translates well to video, but what's the most interesting thing about it is all the pillars that hold the case together are identical, meaning they can be switched around, and the top and bottom fan support and radiator support is technically the same, right? This will all depend on the hardware and how you build your system, but technically it's all the same with the same compatibility all the way around, right? So yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to see this not built in its purest form. Let us know what you think in the comments. There's still time before this comes to market. I mean, Q2 2026, but if I have anything to do with it, we'll see this year. Let us know your thoughts. A lot of what we wanted to do with the King 95 Ultra with Montech last year was introduce a lot of silver componentry and kind of introduce the idea of the computer not being too much of the centerpiece, but being something that is a part of your life. And that's kind of the philosophy behind the 10 as well, especially with the side panel color being silver. But that's not the only thing. One of the challenges with creating cases like this is tooling. If you have a look at how the panel is folded, this does increase the price because the tooling becomes more expensive for bending metal this way and retaining rigidity. They're looking at trying to find a way to bring the pricing down. Yeah, things take time, right? It's case development and design. That's why the launch is looking closer to being Q2 2026. But you know what I said already, guys? Let's make it this year. We'll find a way. There's also something hiding on the side of the case which you may have missed. It is a little hidden RGB controller. Again, this case is not a final design, but from the show floor version here, you can see we can adjust the brightness, and I don't think the other knob does anything yet, but that's okay. Oh, it does. My suggestion is maybe having the front I/O on the top of the 10 to be moved anywhere on the case, and the RGB controller to be moved anywhere on the case. And this is purely for Claire's use case because of where her computer sits. If the I/O was on the side, it'd be more useful to her, and if the RGB controller was on the top, it'd be more useful to her. Let us know what you think, because Montech does read the comments and we'll listen to our feedback. That's what's really good about Montech. Also, a completely silver version. Woo! Our camera operator Claire and the boss lady at Gear Seekers Claire at 10 a.m. in the morning is drinking some Taiwan beer. She has to put up with me the whole time. I don't know how she does it, and this is how she does it. I love that you like beer. It's so cool.
Cool, you can film for the rest of the day. So today at Montech, we're looking at cases.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to shift the focus so you guys can get a bit of a BTS as to how other YouTubers do it. He's saying things. Hey guys, I'm Scattervolt. That's the worst American accent ever. Do you guys think he's doing a good job? Let us know in the comments. I think he's doing pretty well. I wonder if he's going to get put off.
So once again, thank you to Montech.
Good beer. Is he doing well?
We got like 6 more to do, so subscribe.
Only 6 more to do?
Thank you so much for...
Only 6 more? Come on, bro.
Yes.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. Montech at Computex Taipei 2025. Let us know what you think. That Montech 10 is looking pretty sleek. This is a little bit of a brainchild from us. I'm not going to lie. We have talked to them about this case starting at basically directly after the King 95, and to see something here at the booth is very, very interesting. Also, that little concept, we'll touch back on that maybe later in the year, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and let us know what your favorite thing is at the booth. Special thanks to MSI for sponsoring our Computex Taipei 2025 coverage. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. I'm gonna say the thing, you pick, we seek, and let's go check out some more interesting stuff because we're only just getting started this year.